This video is probably not going to be very good for business, but you know what's also not good for business? Choosing to have the face of your campaign be a man who openly jokes about violence against women. Okay?
I know I usually talk about nail mess, but I woke up to something so wild in the beauty world that I had to bring it to you. E.L.F. Cosmetics just made Matt Rife the face of their new campaign, and the internet is not having it. If you don't know, Matt's a comedian who's been called out before for making jokes about really sensitive topics. People are calling it tone deaf that a major beauty brand, especially one with such a huge Gen Z following, would choose him over an actual beauty creator or someone without that kind of controversy attached.
E.L.F., what are you doing?
Hey girl, has overpriced beauty hurt your wallet?
E.L.F. that!
This is probably one of the stupidest makeup campaigns I have seen this year. We just got done with the Sydney Sweeney thing. You think after seeing that, brands would be a little bit more cautious about picking the faces of their campaigns? Because tell me why I go on Instagram and E.L.F. Cosmetics has just put out a campaign with Matt Rife.
I know a thing or two about red flags. In pricey makeup, you deserve better than that.
Comedian Matt Rife. This is a horrible, horrible idea. For those who don't know, Matt Rife is a comedian who has been popularized within the past couple of years, and nobody has really seen anything about him ever since his Netflix special that came out maybe a year and a half ago on Netflix, and he was diabolically canceled. And I think E.L.F. is a good brand. They need to rethink the direction they're going, because this new campaign is not it at all.
Heidi in Closet deserves better. She deserves better than Matt Rife. And that's all I have to say. E.L.F., what the fuck?
This video is probably not going to be very good for business, but you know what's also not good for business? Choosing to have the face of your campaign be a man who openly jokes about violence against women. In case you missed it, a couple of hours ago, E.L.F. Cosmetics posted their most recent ad campaign where they had Heidi in Closet, who love famous drag queen, big fan of her on Drag Race. She was the best thing about that ad. The worst thing about that ad, Matt Rife as the other face of the campaign. To wake up this morning and see this, I am genuinely so disappointed. As both a consumer and a creator in the beauty space, I'm incredibly disappointed in you, E.L.F. Cosmetics. I have used and loved E.L.F. Cosmetics for a long time. I have worked with you several times. I do not stand behind this. I do not support this, and I cannot continue to support a company where the people at the top think that this is okay. Because also E.L.F. Cosmetics, and I mean, I'm just spitballing figures here, but I would hazard a guess that your customer base is anywhere from 90 to 95% women. I cannot fathom a world in which, as a business, a multi-billion-dollar business that has the influence that you have, that you would sit there and say the best person to have as the face of this campaign is Matt Rife, the man who jokes about domestic violence. And possibly the saddest part about this is that it's not just one person's decision. For a campaign of this size, it would have had to pass through so many hands. The amount of checks and balances and approvals that would have had to happen for this campaign to go live. Can you honestly sit here and tell me that nobody at the top stood back and said, hey guys, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think that as a multi-billion-dollar business in the beauty industry with a customer base that is 90% women, we should have the face of our campaign be a man who openly jokes about violence against women. Like, did nobody sit there and say, hey, in 2025, when there is an absolute epidemic of violence against women, let's not choose to have the face of our campaign be a man who jokes about domestic violence. Let's not platform Matt Rife, because if we're being super honest with each other, E.L.F. Cosmetics, with the amount of money and the resources that you have at your fingertips, you could have had literally anybody else, but you chose Matt Rife, and God, I would love to hear the explanation as to why. Also, I don't know about you, but I've never once seen Matt make beauty content. Not once. So it's not as though he was chosen for this campaign because he has a strong alignment to the brand, because he's got a strong affinity to the brand, or even because he's got a strong alignment to the industry. So why was Matt Rife chosen for this? Because also, E.L.F. Cosmetics, when you sign a contract with somebody as the face of your campaign, as the face of your business, when you cut a check to that person, you're essentially telling your audience and your customers, hey guys, in this moment, that person represents our business. That person represents us. Wow. Hey, E.L.F. Cosmetics, in this moment, you've told us all that Matt Rife represents E.L.F. Cosmetics. Personally, I'm good.
Another day, another brand disappointing the fuck out of me. Why the fuck is E.L.F. Cosmetics using Matt Rife, of all fucking people, promote their brand? What makes you think your consumers, who are mostly women, and primarily I would want to say on the left, why the hell would we want Matt Rife? A straight, white, cis man who does not use makeup. In what world does that sound like? Yes, he is perfect for this ad campaign for this makeup company. Yep, perfect. Same thing with Sydney Sweeney and those goddamn American Eagle jeans. When the fuck have I ever seen number one Sydney Sweeney in jeans? I don't think ever. And why would that appeal to the American Eagle audience? I don't know, considering everybody is a teenager, mostly, and like young adult women. Like, come on now.
See the E.L.F. Cosmetics TikTok?
Hey girl, has overpriced beauty hurt your wallet?
What is happening? Because I know that is not Mr. He just can take a punch. I know that is not Matt Rife. Like, it's no coincidence that he is in a makeup brand. Why is he there? Why would a man be there? Why would a man be there? I want to know who was in the meetings for marketing and talent and said, you know who would really sell E.L.F. Cosmetics? Matt Rife. Matt Rife.
There are times when you just see an ad out in the wild and you go, oh my God, it's brilliant. And then there's other times when you go, what the absolute frick were you guys thinking? E.L.F. Cosmetics having an ad with Matt Rife in it, the comedian who openly makes jokes about domestic violence. What tone deaf executive was like, this is a great idea? This whole campaign is giving the vibe of like, this has been sitting in our drafts for a while and we've just decided to press send. Because not only has the internet cancelled him last year, we want nothing to do with him, his stupid sexist jokes. But the whole premise of this campaign is two lawyers fighting against expensive cosmetics when E.L.F. increased their prices as of the 1st of August this year. So, like, I want to know everybody else's opinion because I'm thinking, like, is there something that I'm missing? Am I just that sleep deprived that am I missing something?
Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, everywhere you look, people are dragging E.L.F. Cosmetics, saying this feels like a slap in the face to survivors and a bad PR move. Some are even talking about boycotting the brand entirely, while others are just shocked they'd risk alienating their audience for a stunt like this.
Imagine being a huge makeup brand that is always stood by being absolutely inclusive, affordable, an amazing product, and completely ruin that entire image that you have stood by to put a man in your commercial who blatantly jokes about domestic violence. E.L.F., you have completely missed the mark on this and have just bypassed your demographic group completely. The people who have rode by you this entire time, who have stood by your $1, $3, and $5 marks all the way until now and have supported every single thing that you've ever done, and now you put a man who jokes about DV in your commercials. Excuse me? Putting Temu Betty DeVille in your commercials was the biggest mistake that you guys have made. And I cannot believe that you actually believe that this was okay. You will not see me support another E.L.F. product on this page.
I'm genuinely so baffled and confused by the E.L.F. x Matt Rife collab commercial. And it is so sad because, don't get me wrong, I love E.L.F. I love E.L.F. I've loved E.L.F. since I was a little girl. What is with brands nowadays just not thinking things through? Like, majority of women, or just like leftists, are gonna see that commercial with Matt Rife and be like, ew, I'm not buying this product. But then conservatives are gonna watch that commercial and see a drag queen and say, I'm not buying that product. I'm so glad that they gave a drag queen of color a platform that big, but like, Matt Rife, are we for real right now? Are we so for real right now?
Listen. If wannabe handsome Squidward thinks that he can erase his past by partnering with E.L.F. on their campaign, then he's got another thing coming. Because it wasn't even a year, maybe 2 years ago, when he was making DV jokes on his Netflix special, and he got a lot of flack for it. He hates women. He's told us this time and time again, and he's trying to rebrand. And if you had an issue with JVN launching their products in Ulta, or Dylan Mulvaney doing a campaign with Ulta a few years ago, then I want to hear the same energy for Matt Rife. If you don't have the same energy for Matt Rife, then we know what the issue is. And don't get me wrong, men belong in beauty space. There is space for men because men use skincare, makeup too, but we can't allow all men. I'm sorry. If you have a history of being shitty to women, you're not allowed.
First, we had the American Eagle Sydney Sweeney drama, and now we have Matt Rife in an E.L.F. Cosmetics campaign. What is this nonsense? Like, E.L.F., you can do so much better. These people just need better marketing teams. And as a marketing major, please hire me. Somebody, hire me to be on your marketing team. Seriously, how do these people get away with things like this? I do not understand. I am baffled. Ugh, E.L.F., I had so much confidence in you, and you just let a bunch of us down.
What does Matt Rife have to do with makeup? Because he wears it? Women don't like that man. Like, most women don't like Matt Rife. I like Heidi in Closet, but even Heidi in Closet isn't known for her makeup. I'd rather see like someone who's good at makeup doing this. Or if you want it to be different and like catch attention, maybe like an actress. E.L.F. and Pink Panther. I'd rather see E.L.F. and Trisha Paytas. Why Matt Rife? The ad wasn't even good. The concept could be cute, like a law firm, but like, Matt Rife? Okay, girl.
I have to ask, how do you think E.L.F. Cosmetics can come back from this? Is there any kind of apology or PR move that could turn this around? Or is the damage already done? I need to know your take in the comments.